Alright, so I want to take this time to just talk a little bit about dairy and how it relates to weight loss. Had a conversation with Thomas about dairy. One of the protein shakes and protein bars he has dairy in it. I'm not really against it at all. The thing to consider with dairy is that it does affect your appetite, or it has an effect on your appetite. So what ends up happening is that if you have dairy, typically it will incline you to eat more. Some people say it helps suppress their appetite. Some people like the fact that it has protein in it. My thing is, if your primary goal is to lose weight or lose body fat, you generally want to keep dairy on the low side or have none at all in your program. If you are going to go with dairy, I would definitely go for something like a fermented product like yogurt if you're going to do dairy. And typically those are a little bit more beneficial for you and don't have as much lactose in it, because that's the problem that most people tend to have when it comes to dairy. The second part is gluten and wheat and grain-based products. Typically, the thing that you need to pay attention to is gluten. Gluten has trouble being broken down in the intestinal tract, causing all sorts of problems. Gluten intolerance, I'm just going to very touch on, shows a host of problems with people, from issues from stomach problems to diarrhea to all sorts of things. So you want to definitely keep gluten out of your program. Typically, bread has gluten in it, so keep bread out of your diet. And then third thing I want to touch on is cheating. I had a cheat day today. I had some cheesecake. It's freaking awesome. I was very happy and very satisfied from it. The thing that I kind of want to touch on is that if you're going to cheat, go ahead and cheat. You know, I don't want you to think about trying to plan your cheat day. Because if you cheat, if you plan a cheat day, chances are you're going to go off the deep end and do very horrible. And you know, and then if you have like a one-day cheat a week, and you're just going to start to be a little neurotic, planning, oh, I can't wait till Friday or Saturday, you know, typically in a weekend is when you make your cheat day. And you just don't want that to happen. You want to just make this part of your lifestyle. And if you're going to cheat twice in a week, not that big of a deal. Just make sure that it's, you know, there's some damage controls, what I always recommend. Keep the sugar content pretty low. And again, just get away from anything that's, you know, that's sweet, at least when you're trying to lose body fat. Because your goal is to lose weight, and the key thing with the whole idea of this diet, or what I'm recommending you to do, is getting a hold of your insulin level, getting control of your insulin level. Because once you start controlling your insulin level, by reducing your carbohydrate intake, by getting the good starch or good carbohydrates, like more vegetables, what will end up happening is you will start to lose body fat much faster, and you're going to feel a lot better. You're shifting gears. This is kind of why, you know, I talked to Greg. Greg had a headache. What happens for 2 days, and Thomas felt miserable, what happens is that you're shifting from a sugar burning system to a fat burning system, and depending on how much sugar you were having before, shifting gears can be pretty rough. It's almost like, I don't know if I can give a good analogy, if you have a car that has never shifted into 5th or 6th gear for, I don't know, 20 years, it's going to have some troubles getting there. So it's the same idea here. You're used to burning sugar, now you're going to be burning fat. And it takes some time getting used to it. So with that in mind, keep the sugar content low. If you have any questions, feel free to post on the group. Also, you can feel free to text me. I'm going to send an email out. So have a good day. Hey guys, today is day 5, or really day 4, but we'll say day 5 anyway. I got some equipment here. I got a kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell, I recommend you get one, because it's one of the best tools you can get for a workout. This is 12 kilograms, or about 26 pounds. I got some milk here. I don't drink dairy. This is my son's, but you can easily get some water jugs. You can use these. And we got a 12-pound dumbbell. Just some apparatuses that you can use to kind of make things interesting in your workout. Stuff you can do at home. Again, I'm just starting off pretty light, just to kind of give you stuff to do. But some cool stuff you can do with these. These are a gallon of water is about 8 pounds. So these are 8 pounds. Now with them shaking around like that, that kind of with the awkward holding grip, it kind of makes you work in a different manner. So the first exercise I'm going to have you do is a squat to overhead press, or a box squat to overhead press. That's what you're going to do. So if you don't have dumbbells, you can easily use a gallon of water. So hopefully you're drinking a lot of water anyway. So you should be able to fill these two with water up, and you can do a bunch of shoulder presses and stuff. So the goal is to go for volume, and like I said, if you already have a higher level of fitness and then some of the stuff I'm recommending, then by all means push yourself harder. But these are kind of like some beginner stuff that you can do that are fairly challenging. that are hard enough to a point where at least you'll get something out of it, and they will build a base for stuff I'm going to go over in the future, because things are going to get way harder, especially after the first week. So, a box squat, the overhead press, get something so that your thighs can get the parallel. You'll hold these right here. Hopefully one of these don't bust open on me, that'd be pretty funny. Good video. Okay, so squat, push up, come down, then back up. Squeezing the glutes, pushing the hips forward. Okay, so you're going to do 20 of those. So this is like a little mini circuit. Second exercise will be a kettlebell swing. Now if you don't have a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell. Alright, again, this is more lower body work with upper body work. What you're going to do is you get one arm kettlebell swing. And what that is you're just going to use your shoulders and a little bit of your hips to swing the weight forward, just like that. I want you to do 10 on each side. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell. It's a 12-pound dumbbell. So working a little bit with your shoulders and your lower body. So you do 10 on each side. I guess you can do swings with this. With the way this handle feels a little flimsy. So I don't recommend it, because this will bust open, or potentially bust open and make a mess. Water is not that big of a deal, but I have milk, and my carpet's already horrible, so the last thing I want to do is make my carpet worse. So the review again, we have a squat to overhead box squat, or box squat to overhead press, with approximately 8 to 10 pound dumbbells, 20 repetitions, followed by single arm swings, with either a 12 count, 26 pound kettlebell, or somewhere around that range of some kind of dumbbell. Followed next, you got some push-ups. So if you can't do a push-up on the ground, find something solid that you can use to do a push-up on, and you're just going to do 10. It's going to be a 2-2 tempo count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you do 10 of those. So that's one round. Your goal is to get through 3 rounds. So this is a little bit more challenging. It's pretty simple to do, not very hard. I don't think it's very hard. 3 rounds. If you really want to really kick yourself in the ass and push really hard, you can really crank it up and try to get through it as fast as you can, 3 rounds in a row. If not, you can take your time. Take a little bit of break in between, drink some water, but just try to finish it. This is not unreasonable to ask you to finish within 15 minutes. So just to briefly review, because I want to make sure everyone does everything right, you're going to do 20 box squats to shoulder press, pushing up. After you do 20 of these, go into some swings, either kettlebell or dumbbell or something that weighs, has some kind of resistance. 10 on each side, you don't have to switch. Then you're going to do 10 push-ups, either bench or floor push-ups, either on your knees or onto your feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 count tempo. The key thing is that when you're at the bottom, there's a good amount of resistance, and when you're here at the top, there's still a good amount of resistance. You don't want to be like this. And position yourself like so. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's your assignment. You're going to do that 3 times around. 20. Follow 20 reps of the box squats. 10 on each arm. Kettlebell swings or squat swings. And then you got bench push-ups, 10 repetitions, 2 count up, 2 count down. That's your workout, 3-round cycle. And on top of that, your cardio workout of the day. You can do this workout today or the next day, because I know they can understand there could be a little bit of lag time in between. And then you're going to do a walk. I'd like you to focus on getting a good 25 to 30 minutes high-paced walk. You can run if you want. You don't have to. Again, focus on just trying to set aside time for exercise. Altogether, this takes you about 30 to 45 minutes of working out at home. It requires nothing expensive. You don't have to spend any more money. If you have some equipment, use it. But this will be my initial recommendation. That's a 30-minute walk with a 15-minute resistance training workout. Okay? All right.